Hello.
We're live. We hope that you got the message.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. It is, wow. Okay, Scorpio season.
We decided to wait and wait on to do the weeklies on Halloween because we felt like it would be like more appropriate that way, right?
You guys, I feel like we've been connected too. We like haven't been around each other like a lot lately because we've been very busy and there's been like a lot going on.
It's been so difficult to get buckled down.
We're still feeling Saturn and
right. Venus being in retrograde.
Venus retrograde.
Okay, so some very important transits going on as well.
Right.
We were talking about Uranus shifting into Aries soon.
Mm-hmm.
Also today, we have Venus going so much retrograde, it's going into Libra.
Back.
And that's actually probably more beneficial, right? We're getting back into Libra.
Right.
So getting back into this feeling of harmony, that's going to help us understand some of this emotional struggle that we may be going through. Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hi, guys.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Also, shout out to my father. It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
I am a child of Halloween. Ooh.
And speaking of that, I'm going to say this right now, and y'all better not get upset about it.
Oh, gosh.
They've been talking about, my voice is acting weird too because I've been, talking and going out in the weather. They're talking about changing the date of Halloween from the 31st to the last Saturday in October. And I say, keep Halloween on the 31st and everybody just go trick-or-treating on the last Saturday in October. Why are you trying to change the date? People who were born on Halloween, what are they going to do now? Like, what are they going to say? They've been saying I was born on Halloween all their life. And now you guys want to change that because you want...
They want to make it more like
be more convenient. Right. It's not Thanksgiving, honey. It's Halloween.
I think everybody kind of already knows to do that anyway.
Right.
It's like
That's
not
what I'm
really.
saying.
And it also has a different meaning to it, so the actual date, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And also the 31 is so much more rare. It's a rarity, which like Halloween is.
Having it on a Saturday is really just opening it up to all the adults getting in on your children's fun. Really. That's really what it's doing. Y'all thinking that, I want to be able to do that. And I know that you don't want to have like your kids being up late on a weekday. Anyway, we're doing an unboxing for you today.
Hopefully you guys are having a safe Halloween out there. Whatever plans that you guys have, be careful. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Have fun. Yes, we are doing a little bit of an unboxing. I mean, you guys are kind of catching us with us a little bit as we catch up with each other. This is really hilarious, this costume.
Hi, you guys.
Right? I love it. Okay, so what are we doing? I've been using the Botanicals a lot recently, as you guys know, if you follow us on IG as well. And I've done some botanical flowers on some of the weeklies before here. So we do have a sun and moon for the week with the Botanicals. And then I'm going to be using the Gay Tarot today, which can still be incorporated with, regular tarot. I just wanted to give an introspection and something a little different, a little rare during Halloween time. I feel like it's something that I use more a little bit with my own personal, and I just wanted to give an opportunity for some ghouls and goblins out there to feel connected. And it's a great time. People can wear different hats and feel like they can be themselves a little bit when they might not feel like they can be themselves throughout the whole year.
Thank you.
So anyway, that was my little spiel on that. And then Kendrick is also going to be giving just a little bit of insight in as a clarification with
the runes deck. So you guys, I've been thinking of runes just in general for about a year now, but I never could bring myself to go and get runes because I'm like, why am I thinking of runes? I'm still like learning my cards very, very intently. But now these sort of came in the form of cards, so it's kind of a bridge to get me to that place of studying the runes.
Okay, so actions this week, we got the peonies. Okay, so the peonies, I'll go ahead and read you the beautiful quote here. It's a symbolism of prosperity and compassion. Prosperity depends more on wanting what you have than on having what you want. And this was really talking about longevity too and satisfaction. It's almost like the idea of smelling the roses and stuff. It's kind of like in our actions right now, We are buckling down with fall after Halloween. A lot of us are very aware of this kind of like routine that you're kind of getting fixed into with the cold weather coming, with our emotions, the holidays coming around. It brings about a lot of reveal during Scorpio season. It's kind of harder to hide from yourself in certain ways, right? To wear these masks, right? And there's really much more of a reveal going on. Mm-hmm. So here it's kind of saying like, look at these things and this longevity. You know, the scent of the peony can be smelled from far. It's nice and gentle and healing. So
I love it.
With these actions, it's really like maybe take a little bit more time to appreciate yourself and some of the relationships that you have in your life, okay?
Right.
In the moon here, we've got the false indigo.
False indigo. Let me give you guys a good view of that. So the card says immersion and intuition. When you reach the end of what you should know, you will be at the beginning of what you should sense. Khalil Gibran.
Okay.
Okay, beautiful. They all have quotes.
It's a very intuitive card. It's really talking about, like, it's very almost like a high priestess in a sense, like a moon card.
Right.
The false indigo is really known as a couple centuries ago. They used it to make a false indigo. You know, they were using the blue to the dye, actually, to make a false indigo. And so that's a lot of where it got its name from as well. But it talks a lot about intuition and listening to your intuition as a person. And this is in the moon section for us this week. So there might be some things that require our attention or our focus this week. And we intuitively have known it for some time. Maybe there was some procrastination involved.
Absolutely.
And now it's saying kind of look at all of these things that might be in different piles that we're going to have to get together. And they're very sun and moon related, with the peony being there for your fire spirit action and the false indigo being there for the watery emotions, because I'm sure a lot of us during this period of time have a lot of reveals that we need to look at. It is Scorpio season.
It's almost like, you know, your actions aren't reflecting your feelings or what you feel passionate about doing. You know, you may be caught up in understanding why a certain thing may not be working out for you, or you might be caught up, you know, just in the feeling of wanting to take action and wanting to do something about your, you know, just you. So this card came up, which is so funny because we just, like, you know,
we were looking at the tarot and we acknowledged the power of this card.
We acknowledged the power of this card right here, right? You see that third eye? There's also like a winged horse in the sky, which is very active. There's rocks.
The third eye is like a masculine eye too, so it's like two. There's like masculine and feminine energy there.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some strength within that yin and yang energy, because it's like you can appropriate that energy to take action and do these things that you want. So the meaning is horse, and Jupiter is about to go into Sagittarius. The key word is action. The association, right? The association. This card is associated with action and movement. The image, a winged horse cuts through the sky, while in the foreground, a young woman with a sort of third eye stares intently at something and thinks prior to acting. The runic inspiration, which I'll get, you know, deeper into learning how to explain these. To be successful, you have to be very determined. Our potential is great. Provide that we know how to value it by following the flow of events with courage, without remaining stationary or intimidated in the face of new challenges that life offers us. Our key task is to find our place in the world, okay? Do we daydream, or do our dreams embody solid planning? Do we have a tendency to flee our problems, taking refuge in a fantasy world? And this card should enable us to be more pragmatic and organized. It boosts self-esteem and the ability to give body to our own dreams. Okay, so this is talking about letting your dreams really guide you. It's like a feeling that you have, right? Your feelings are connected to your subconscious, and so are your dreams. So it really is talking about a very deep desire. We're having Scorpio season right now. There's a lot of energy going on in Scorpio, right? Venus is going retrograde. She is retrograde, and she's going back into Libra very, very soon. And
she's going back into Libra today.
There we go.
At about 7 or so.
Okay. And Jupiter is there right now. He's about to go into Sagittarius. So everything is sort of like taking a step back from that energy, right? The transformation and the
which we need to look at that.
Right.
The thing to know about that, and it's very interesting if you follow the planets.
Right.
First of all, let me just break down a little bit of a retrograde thing. Okay, the planet is not actually going backwards.
Okay.
I know a lot of you don't understand retrograde, and that's a harder thing for you to but really, in the simplest form of the way that I feel like I can break it down for you, think about being on a highway, and you're driving on a highway, and you have two cars that are going different speeds. Okay, so when a certain car that's going faster starts to pass up a certain other car, when you look at that car, it almost looks like that car is going in reverse because you're speeding up so fast when you go past that car. That's what's happening when the Earth is going past these planets that have different rotations, slower or faster than it. So when we look over, it looks like it's going in retrograde. The planet is not going in retrograde. It's just going at a different rotation and revolution around the sun than we are, and therefore it causes certain effects to us to happen.
If you guys can envision that, envision a track and field, right? You know how the runners start at different angles, but then when they make the curves, the one that's closer to the center, you know, or just throughout the race, people start to fall back, and then, but they're all still going forward, you know what I mean, in the same direction. So think of it sort of like that way, if that can kind of like break it down a little bit.
And so now, because of the positioning of the constellation, Venus being going in retrograde, it is now going back into Libra, which is, you know, Venus rules Libra, so this is a little bit better in the situation of some of the emotional struggles we may be going through, some of the lovers that have come back into our lives recently, some of the old feelings that we're working through, some of the emotional struggles that we're working through may hit a nice little harmonious plateau for the next couple of weeks, but then it's going to go direct, Venus station direct, and it's going to have to go back through Scorpio again. So there are some lessons that you're going to be revisited from the retrograde.
In the relationships too, in that arena, right? It's kind of like, because it's Venus. So it's saying like, what are those,
love and logic.
What are those deep feelings or those transformations that you want to see within the relationships that you're involved in? What are the inevitabilities of transformation occurring, right? It's sort of definite. For a lot of you out there. Let's go ahead and get started.
Let's go ahead and get started. Aries, time stepping you. What time is it?
12 minutes and 45 seconds, Aries.
Aries, okay. Aries, you got the Two of Pentacles.
Work. Jupiter and Capricorn. Boom. Capricorn is very determined.
Hi-ya!
But Capricorn is also restricted because it's like it has to try a little bit harder because of what it wants to get out of something. And Jupiter being there is sort of expanding that sensibility. This is one of his placements.
Jupiter and Capricorn is one of my placements. So Aries, I could give you a little bit of advice on it. It's saying slow down. I'm also a sister fire sign to you. I'm Leo. So I still do things a little bit slower than you, although you know how to initiate things better than I do. In this particular situation, it's saying you've got something to weigh out. And it's a physical thing. You already knew it before, and now it's kind of like really happening where you have to weigh out either two relationships or your time and money versus this thing, or even just two jobs or two places to live, two boyfriend and girlfriend,
it's kind
two
of
kids.
It's kind of living on the edge, you know what I mean? It's almost like, and you're trying to like make things work while you feel like your life might be on the edge.
And you're trying to master something. If this is a natal placement for you, it is about mastery. It's very much about not trying to win the lotto in this scenario, but actually trying to master this scenario through study and through understanding and through getting to the top of this mountain so that you really see the whole perspective. Even realizing in the moment that you're not able to see the whole perspective, but there's a choice to be made.
It's like the work is going to be great. Meaning like it's going to take a great amount of energy and focus to get the work done. You know what I mean?
Okay, Aries.
Great.
All right. Good luck this week, and we'll see you next week. All right, Taurus. Taurus, you got 4 of coins at
14 minutes and 40 seconds.
Interesting. This is also a pentacle.
Right.
Okay, so this
Sun and Capricorn.
is Sun and Capricorn energy. The awareness of the work that needs to be done. This is like, in this particular tarot, he's like the director. You see he's got the gels. So he has the lens to affect this scenario.
Right.
Is this going to be romantic lighting? Is this going to be moody, sad lighting? Is this going to be amber, bright, exciting lighting? You know, how are we going to take on this situation of this obstacle that I need to look at?
Right.
It could also be talking about enterprise.
Right.
4 is talking about construction of yourself.
How are you actually going to step into this new identity, or this identity that you have just reset for yourself, right? It's like you're standing firm in something because it is talking about a foundation, and it's talking about like the principles of something, right? You definitely want respect, but you want respect for what you do, and you want to respect what you do. So you are really taking a lot of interest into the pride of the work, you know, or the pride that you put into your work, or the pride that you get out of your work.
Don't be too brute in a certain situation around the pride, because this is also talking about not having a closed fist syndrome here with the 4 of coins, right? It's like with your hand open, you know, yeah, you might lose some things, but you're going to gain some things. You're going to be able to network a little bit more in that way, right? Because Capricorn does want to experience a lot, and it fears missing out on that.
Definitely. And for you, Taurus, it's like if you have to give up some of your resources, meaning like if you have to invest in something, don't think that you're losing something, because really you're getting something out of that investment. There's a return that's needed, or there's a return that you want to see, and that's the reason why. You got to spend money to make money, basically.
Right. It is a plateau, and you won't have to go back from square one if some of you are, if that was your question. Okay, so go ahead and just put the work in, because you're aware that it does require work.
Gemini.
Okay, another pentacle.
Progressions too,
interesting. You guys. Okay, progressions through the Zodiac. We got the 7 of coins in this situation. Okay. This is talking about Saturn and Taurus. Okay.
You might
what is it that you are anticipating?
Yeah, you're anticipating something, and it's almost like...
It could be real estate. It could be a relationship. Right. It's something. It's your realm, and it's a 7. So this could very much be home related. Or it has something to do with family, or the mother, your mother, or it's your mother. Anything like that, or an evolution of self, where you're just kind of trying to wait to see... what is really going to bear fruit in this situation. You could have done some work and then feel like you're not really...
You are doing work. That's the problem.
Getting
it's
the
like you're not getting what you want to get out of it. It's like you might be going to work.
But it's like, be patient, because this is Saturn and Taurus. So it's like, whatever it is that you think that you want to get out of the situation, this is a very difficult card for you in general, because you're a Gemini. So you're like, fast.
What are you putting into it, right?
Slow.
It's like, what are you putting into it? Yes, because it's like you won't be able to focus hard enough to put enough energy or time, or, you know, focus into something if you just want to move on to the next thing, if you feel like it's not working. But if you know that it's not what you actually want to be doing, if you feel like it's not helping you feel progressive, or maybe there's a certain level of productivity that you seek that you're not getting out of the job that you're doing, then it's time to make a change. Saturn, karmic teacher. What you really need to live up to, and what you need to admit to yourself about your personal reality, right? 7, moving forward, keeping your focus on the goal, right? What are you doing it for?
Yeah, it's very Chariot, so it's like ringing it all in. Like there could be a lot of like chaos, or there could have been a lot of problems in certain situations that need to be conquered around real estate or a relationship that you've had a tie with for quite some time. And it's time for you to be like, maybe learn some real karmic lessons about commitment, whatever that means as well too, because Taurus is talking about commitment. Taurus is not going to be fooled in a situation. Taurus is trying to own and lock things down, and so, you know, whatever it is in this situation.
It's heavy too. It's like heavy energy, like it's weighted energy. It has substance, but then at the same time, they definitely don't want to hold on to something that isn't comfortable to them, because it is about the comfort level. And if something is making you uncomfortable, and you know, it could be saying it's time to do something about it.
Yeah, there are like lessons to learn in the physical, for sure, with Saturn being here and Taurus being here together. There are lessons to learn, and what is yours, what isn't yours, what are boundaries, why boundaries are there, and when you start interfering with boundaries within yourself and other people, how conflicts happen, okay?
All right, Cancer, what's going on with you at
Cancer.
20 minutes?
Cancer.
Okay.
Okay, you got the Sage of Cups, which is the King of Cups. Wow. Which is very Cancer.
Are you guys dealing with a Scorpio, possibly?
You could be dealing with another Cancer, or Scorpio, or a Pisces.
Right.
Very intensely right now.
Water.
Definitely. This could definitely be Pisces energy for sure. This is also really talking about someone who can affect you emotionally.
Right.
So either this person, be it good or bad, because we're talking to a lot of Cancers right now, this person could be even you. So we'll talk about it being you first. If it's you, you're definitely giving, like, the referee in the situation, right? You're like, I know how to keep things under control when things kind of go crazy, and I know what the rules are, and I know everybody who's in the game and who isn't in the game, and I'm talking to the people who's watching the show right now.
Right.
Okay,
and
right.
Also, it's kind of like there's a need to be fair, but it's like you're nurturing a situation because you feel like there is a need for fairness there, right? Because it's weird with this card because it is a court card and it's the King of Cups, and you know it will be fixed water energy. 1/3 of that Scorpio energy is Libra, so there is a need for some harmony here, and it's like, how are you going to bring it? It's like, what are you nurturing the situation with, or what are you nurturing this plant with so that it can grow?
Right.
So that it
you
can
are thinking about what's
right.
fair, or there could be, if you're not the person who's mature in the situation, which you probably are because you're a Cancer, there's a male in your life, very specifically a male probably, or very male energy for some of you, because this is the gay tarot. You know, you're lesbian, you're dating a female, and you know, maybe you guys have different dynamics, but she's this masculine energy, or you have very, you know, it's your father, or it's your boss at work because he affects your emotions and he's a man in your life, and your boss of course can affect you emotionally, or it's just straight up the person that you're with. Or it's a male who's a water sign in your life. And any of these things, that person, there's a lot of attention around that person. And you need to listen to your intuition with the false indigo being here this week about those feelings.
Right.
And also maybe appreciating this person, or making sure that this person is truly appreciating you. For whatever it is that you have to offer in the situation, with the peonies being the action.
It's about action this week, you guys. It's about action with the peony. And it's also about action with the Iwas. Rune, right? And it's like, how are your actions being reflected by your emotions, and vice versa? Like, how you feel about something, are you doing anything about it? And if you are doing anything about it, are you like, is it productive? Right? Okay, are we moving on?
Yes.
Leo.
Okay, Leo. You got the Emperor at
23 minutes.
The Emperor. Okay. So, this is very powerful too. We had 3 Pentacle cards, then we had the King of Cups, now we're at the Emperor. And the Emperor, this is funny because I was just talking to Aries about how I understand you, and I'm a Leo.
Right.
And this is Aries. So, Aries just came up for Leo this week. So, Leo, what is it that you're trying to build this week? You know, the Emperor is really the person who
Mars
all over the show. This is like the show of life. You see the stage down there, and then this is like literally when the credits roll and it says a film by Steven Spielberg, right? Because it's like he is the man who is constructing the whole movie that you about to watch. That's like what the Emperor energy is talking about. It's like, bam, a film by Steven Spielberg, and you are Steven Spielberg in this scenario.
It's wonderful because, like, what are you constructing, Leo? What is it that you are building that is going to be successful and that's going to be celebrated by many people? It's like their acknowledgement is going to be one of gratitude, but it's also going to be one of high consideration in terms of like what the capabilities are, what your capabilities are, right? And it's like no one is going to question whether or not you are the one that is the right person to be doing something because you are already doing it. You know what I mean? It's not like, should they be doing this? It's like, no, they're already doing it. You know what I mean? It's Aries energy, so it's one of like action as well, because we have so many action cards. Everybody take action, you know, do what it is that you feel like you need to be doing to have these transformations take place.
There's something very solid that's happening, something very solid inside of your spirit. Leo is actually, you know, it's the sign that we look to have that self-epiphany and that spiritual kind of like structure of like not really weighing and questioning things out. There are signs that we look to for different reasons. And for Leo, we definitely are looking for that kind of self, kind of understanding and strength. And to have this card here, the Emperor, is really saying, listen to whatever it is that you feel spiritually needs to go down or underway. Or
because it's like
there's a male in your life, and it could be, you know, you're the male, or there's a male. Even if you're a straight male in this situation, it could be your father, brother, boss. Or if you're a female, it could be your man, brother, boss, son. Or it could just be the masculine, very yang, Xena warrior princess for some of those females out there, or Hercules for even some of the more femme people. You know, you could be feeling really strong this week in your spirit.
In your power, for
standing in your power. Knowing exactly what it is that you're not going to renege in or renege from in whatever situation. It's definitely, once you get to a 4, you're very yang, you're not going back. It's like
making something happen, Leo.
1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 legs around the table. Now we can put something on there and level up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another level up. Like it's like you're not going back to 0 after game over. You go back to the 4th level. That's very much like this kind of thing.
Who did I say I was?
Wait. Who did he say he was? Grieving something.
I said I was Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn.
But look, just now when I was looking at the camera, I was like, blue Cantrell. Do you got?
You know, Libra, all distracted with the costume. Okay. All right, Virgo.
You guys have been waiting for Virgo. Here it is.
Okay, Virgo, at 2641, you got Virgo. The Hermit. Look at this card in this tarot. Look at the Hermit. Look at what's happening here. This is freaking hilarious.
I love that planet glowing. Look at that.
What is happening in the Hermit? You're in freaking outer space, honey. You're so isolated from people.
Right.
You're in freaking outer space.
Isolation. It's isolation.
The powerful thing about what's happening in this card before, and I'm going to let Kendrick speak on it, but the powerful thing before we even go into what the Hermit means is, even though that spaceship is out in outer space, guess what's happening? Guess what's happening? You tell me. Guess what's happening? What's happening? Houston, we have a problem. Connection. Communication is happening. There is communication going on here. There is a study in outer space. You're out there for a reason. There is communication, and it's perfect communication that's going on. Well, I see 16 cc's. I'm coming upon this planet. Oh, it's looking glorious as the sun is setting. The communication is so important when you're in outer space. Hello. Okay.
Thanks. So we had these costumes, you know, little impromptu.
You know, this is basically talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
there could be one person in your life even, because Virgo, this is very much Hermit energy. Is that like it's that older energy in that sense? It's older than the twins, Gemini. So when you're going to communicate in this way, it's perfect communication, and it could be studied with one other person. You could have one other person in your life, and there's like a healing relationship that needs to go on with that one person. I encourage you to look at that this week. And the Hermit energy could be invoking that during Halloween time, because Scorpio season is talking about looking at your emotions, Virgo, which is something you don't like to do.
I would definitely say that this card is saying that when you allow yourself to go inward, or when you take yourself out of being of service to others and you're of service to yourself, you're actually being of service to other people, right? So you don't have to be involved in everything that is going on, right? Because life is going to go on this planet behind him while he's up there in outer space, taking in information and taking in data that we can all benefit from, right? This is bringing back wisdom You know, after going inward and experiencing a depth of process, it's almost like self-enlightenment.
Emotion.
Do you know what would happen?
Deeper than the heavens, baby. I don't know why that's in my head.
If we went to outer space, we're actually in outer space right now, so I don't know what I'm talking about. So if we went. But
we're in outer space. We're on a ball
right now,
circling around a ball of energy.
But if we tried to go to like the moon and we were looking back at the Earth, we would gag. And we would be enlightened instantly. There are certain things about our life that we would have been questioning and asking for answers to that don't need answers anymore.
Let it go.
You see what I mean? It's
There's a letting
powerful.
Go with the hermit energy there. Let go. So that's a message for some Virgos out there that get really hung up. Because you got the death card, I think, last week or the week before. So there's a transformation that's already happened and you're not listening to it. You better start listening to it.
Right.
These are major arcana cards. All right. Libra.
Yeah,
you got the Fool, Libra.
What are
you got the Fool.
On?
He's hitchhiking.
Right.
He's got his dog there.
Right.
He's not alone. But
this is a card of risk, and this is a card of trusting risk, right? It's like you are moving forward and you're not looking back because there's nothing to look back towards. It's like the hope that you have for the future is very supported by divine faith that you have.
There's a butterfly.
Mm-hmm. This is good.
There's a blimp idea.
It's Aries energy as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a truck coming, and he's got his thumb out. So that means something's about to happen, right? He's not alone. He's got his companion here, the dog, right? And he's got everything that he's got to offer to the situation. Right. The Fool is also talking about Uranus energy. And when we see Uranus, we know that that's about things changing shape.
Surprises, right.
Things changing shape, right, exactly, because that's what Uranus is known for. It's going to change it up. We used to do it this way. Well, we're not going to do it that way anymore. We've been doing it that way, and that's the problem.
It's a recalibration. It's a reset up. It's almost kind of like, let's turn it this way. It is definitely thinking out of the box, and it's almost like you're allowing yourself to feel comfortable thinking out of the box and not knowing what is going to come next, but feeling hopeful that it's going to be something that's possible, right? The possibilities. Oh, the possibilities. Oh, zero. That's what this card is like.
Yeah, the Fool is really saying, this is spirit coming in. Whether you're like a spiritual person or not, I do believe in God. But if you don't believe in God and you believe just even in energies, you know, like the idea of energy not being created or destroyed, and so it therefore just going out and doing something, there is energy that comes back in. Energy is the reason why things happen sometimes, you know, like when you have that magician initiation of going to do something, I'm gonna go do this thing, right? I'm hungry, I'm gonna go eat. Well, where does the initiation of the hunger come from? It's like scientifically even, the molecules and the nerve endings from your brain are sending messages from here to tell you that that you need to eat something. The Fool. Okay, like it's this type of energy of like why that's even happening at all, why these things are going on bigger than you energy.
It's also, it's like predestined.
Uranus is also going retrograde, like we said, and it's going to be in Aries. Yeah. And that's a very slow-moving planet. And so that's very interesting here. That's talking about a new beginning again, once again. And with Libra, it makes sense because Libra, you're so affected by everyone else. So it's like this one little shift, all these planetary shifts really affect Libra a lot.
And the retrograde for you actually might bring focus into a new beginning, right? It'll help you refocus on something. If there was something that you were having issues with, maybe now it's going to be a fresh start of how you see it, you know?
Good luck with this new beginning for you this week.
All right, Scorpio, honey. It's
Scorpio.
Your season. We already gave you your extra card.
Okay, Scorpio, at 3346, you've got Two of Wands, an Aries card. Yeah. This is Mars and Aries.
You like that energy, Mars.
Okay, you do love this energy, don't you? You really do, because Mars is your old ruler. If you study classic astrology and modern astrology, classically, Mars used to also rule Scorpio. Mars is the female aggression. You know, it's that surprise hidden aggression. When you think about a female going after something she wants versus a male, a lot of the times the male is like, I want this, rawr, Aries.
Yeah.
And the female is like, I want this.
I feel like you're
figure it out. Very
right.
hidden. So, you know, classically,
ironing things out, right? I feel
you
like
understand this energy. Even though Pluto rules you now.
Yeah.
So you like to reveal things, but once we discovered the telescope, right, we discovered Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, and therefore astrology was shifted a little bit. But classically, Mars, the god of war, sat also in Scorpio.
It is
so you do understand this kind of like drive,
double fire. So there's some intensity, right? In
hidden wants and desires. Scorpio desires.
Right. It's kind of like where you're trying to understand. You're trying to understand something and on a very intense level, right?
It's self though.
Why something might be happening, or you know why. Yes, it's about a happening.
It's something that you did yourself personally, or it just has to do with a baby in general, like literally a baby. Like your whole life is around a baby, possibly. Because Aries is talking about, or Mars is talking about wants, desires, and Aries is really talking about the child or the self. So you could be all of your desires with this child or with this idea of yourself. Also, what is he doing here? He's tilling the land.
Right.
Right? This is his land. He might not even have planted seeds yet, because when you plant the seeds, that's more of like Gemini. Maybe a Gemini also waiting for something
it's
too.
Talking about intention.
Gemini's waiting too.
Right? Intention and purpose.
Right? So they're both waiting. So you and a Gemini could also be waiting together on something. But yours is more spirited. Yours has to do with spirit, right? You're like, you know, you might not have actually planted seeds down, but this is like you cleaning the yard out and looking at what it is that you could put there.
You're trying to generate some activity, right? I feel like, you know, everybody's card this week is really about action. You're trying to initiate some activity going on, right? And it's just to kind of like get things moving again.
Yeah, because something actually initiated with the Ace of Wands. So this is the Two of Wands. So it's already inside of you, whatever it is that you want. And you could be thinking very much about how to go about getting this thing. And it could be in relationship to a male in your life who is an Aries or another fire sign. Or it could be just in relationship to something that you desire. Maybe you're pushing people away. And just be careful with this energy, Scorpio, just because you naturally are kind of this way in a sense, because it's Mars energy. So you know Mars.
Right? You're not.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is something you know. You know how to desire something, to go after what it is that you want. So I'm just saying, in doing that, don't be overly brute. Don't steamroll. Don't be overly careless.
Keep your dignity.
You know.
Just keep your dignity.
Okay. All right.
Sag. Work.
Sag. Wow. Interesting. We were just talking about this card. Okay. So at 3733, you got the Ace of Wands. Abracadabra. Boom. Look at that. You see the hat there? I know it's kind of bright.
Don't be confused. It's not the Magician.
Right. This isn't the Magician. This is the Ace of Wands. So this is talking about a new initiation inside of your spirit. So something happens this week. Tomorrow is the 1st. Could be like something just boom, news on the 1st maybe. Or there's something that happens inside of you. Either you have a new passion, a new love. Maybe you meet somebody during Halloween time. If you're thinking about going to that Halloween party, definitely do it. This could be like... just kind of a new fight too, like, you know, something that makes you like, you could have a new anger that causes you to be like, bam, this is what it is. Or you could have like a new idea that comes from spirit, a new passion, because spirit is talking about passion. So most of the times it's good. This could even be a surprise kind of situation with like a child or around a child. Maybe it's your child or someone else's child brings a situation in for you.
This is very sudden energy too.
Yeah.
And it's one of like high potential. You know what I mean? It's at the beginning stages of the potential. Potential is being noticed. And with Jupiter going into Sagittarius soon, it's almost like something will be initiated or something will be sparked. And then that's going to sustain itself as Jupiter is there. You know, there's a new beginning that might take place that might be of a surprise to you, but it's something that you may have intended, you know what I mean? You may have already thought about it or something, and now the action part of it is going to start to, you know, show itself.
Yeah, this is something that
awareness.
This is about potential. So this isn't an actual manifestation yet.
Right. It's
this week for you is going to be mostly about a feeling, something in your gut, because this I'm looking at false indigo, which is talking about the moon this week for us. So it's talking about intuition for everybody, and then it's also talking about appreciating what you have. So for some of you, you could have a new feeling around appreciating something that you have this week. You know, especially if you're in association with an Aries, some of you could definitely have been thinking about maybe cutting that Aries off. And it's saying, don't do that. There's like, you know, more to it.
It really is about, you know, potential as well this week for a lot of people. It's like realizing your potential and like not feeling or staying stagnant, because it's like, if you don't allow yourself to move forward in life or to progress, then you'll never reach your full potential, because you'll just kind of like be in this place of thinking that your potential has been reached.
And for some of you, got a new creative idea coming this week, so congratulations to that if you've been stuck with something at work. It's going to pop up and you're going to be like, finally.
Hey, Sagittarius, y'all. We know some.
All right, Capricorn. Man of Swords. Capricorn. Knight of Swords. Okay, so Capricorn, what's going on? Your mind's on fire. You're studying this thing. Look, he's the scientist, right?
Have you been ruthless about something? I feel like you've been trying to figure something out. It's almost like you may have even been like on social media. You might have even been trying to like look for things on social media about someone, pulling up information or just seeing what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's like you're relentless in your searches to kind of like
investigation.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's kind of getting it's too much.
You've done too much studies now. Maybe you've been up all night trying to figure this situation out. You're the scientist in this situation. You could be doing things, and you could be doing things in a way that don't have anything to do with emotion. And that could be kind of dangerous, Capricorn, only because you're not that emotional. You're very practical with things. So when you're looking at the practicalities and the logistics, you need to also look at the spirit and the water behind things and try to have more balance with things. So here it's like you could be just seen as somebody who is just coming in maybe too brute with something, or trying to force something in like a way that is just logistical or theoretical, but it's not actually finite in something. Somebody's got your mind on fire. This is very Gemini related too. So if you have strong Gemini placements, or your Capricorn or your Gemini with strong Capricorn placements, or Capricorn with strong Gemini placements, definitely look at them this week, because with the indigo being here, it's like, are you being this person that's being overly probing somehow?
You know, this is a very this is a dangerous card, because the Knight of Swords in general, or the Man of Swords in this deck, because you could be playing with fire, you know what I mean? And it's almost like you're not, you may not be considering the consequences of that happening, or of accidents that may occur.
Because you could be mixing potions.
It's like accidents happen when you move too fast. It's like you've got to slow down sometimes. And if you are, you know, if you're not doing that, if you're not slowing down, and if you are too invested, and if you are just doing whatever come what may, then it's like, you know, the potential for things to go wrong increases. So you might need to just slow down.
There's also something sudden might come in this week for some of you. Maybe something comes in the mail, or there's a man who says things and they're very like sudden things, but they got your mind racing somehow. Or you got an air sign. He's probably younger than you or more immature than you, and he affects you this week a lot. And maybe you need to just look at this situation. Maybe you're not appreciating this air sign person, or something that this air sign person has to offer you, and you need to look at that. Okay, Capricorn?
Aquarius at 43 minutes and 50 seconds.
Aquarius, you also got a man. You got the Man of Wands.
Okay.
All the men in this tarot are officials. So you got like the scientist, and this is like the police officer, right?
Double fire. So you definitely are feeling like you want to take action on something. You're feeling like you want to do something that has, you know, that's relative to your goals and what you feel like you want to do, you know, where you want to get somewhere.
Very authoritative.
Right.
Also, you know, obviously because the knights can be very intimidating in that way. They're known for intimidation. That's why all of these men, the Man of Swords or the Man of Wands or whatever, they all have these kind of like structured, official kind of positions. Right. When you see a police officer, it already evokes a certain amount of intimidation and spirit. Right. And that's what this is talking about.
He
when
totally,
you see...
right. He totally said that.
Intimidation
and spirit. And all of the men, they're all fire, right? So this is double fire.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's mutable. So it's like anything can happen, and it's almost like high risk, high reward.
What is he pulling me over for?
What I mean? High risk, high reward. And that's kind of Sagittarius energy. It's like if you don't really go for something, then it's like you won't really see if it will get, you'll be able to reach that thing. Mm-hmm. So for you, it's not about just sitting back this week, Aquarius, and considering like what the potential of something is. You know what I mean? It's like doing something about it. Like
something might suddenly come in, and it could actually be good for you, whatever the thing is, because it's definitely going to affect your spirit this week, whatever it is. There could be a man who brings some type of news somehow this week, and it's swift news, and it affects you somehow, reputationally, or at your job, or emotionally, even with love somehow around the situation. Because, you know, the officer in this particular situation, you know, it depends on, do you need an officer?
Right. You got to be quick.
Do you need an officer in your life? Yeah. Maybe you need somebody to, this could be a rescuer for some people. Right. For other people, this could be a feeling of authority. He coming in to check your stuff. You knew you shouldn't have had that anyway. You ran the light and now they caught you. Or you driving with this tail light out. Maybe they're just there to let you know. Maybe you didn't even know your tail light was out. So there are there are a couple of different ways to look at that scenario, Aquarius.
Right. And it could be somebody coming in to help you. You know, it could be a quick solution to something.
Right. Okay. Pisces.
At 4620.
All right, Pisces. Last but definitely not least, you got the Five of Swords, which is Venus in Aquarius. Oh, Pisces this week. Pisces, baby. What's going on? I was hoping to see a much better card for you this week.
Right.
But...
you know, sometimes it'll do that at the end. It's good. But...
okay, but this is lessons. Okay, so fives are talking about being in the middle of something. So let's start there. Happy Halloween, Pisces.
Happy Halloween.
Okay, so let's look at what's going on in the card. They're at the U.S. Open. You got the two guys there playing the game. One person's got both rackets. The other person doesn't have any rackets. One person's looking at the other person's not looking at the other person. One person's walked away from the situation. The other person's just standing there. Woo, this is such a Pisces moment.
This is a very confusing card.
There's a lot going on, right?
This
is Venus and Aquarius. So, Pisces, you're an accumulation of every sign. So, this is like literally every sign with Aquarius being there as well. So, that means all 11 signs are there and you.
Right.
So this is very interesting to say why they're not playing the game.
Right.
Why are you not playing the game?
There's something wrong in a situation, and the real truth about it is not being acknowledged, right?
Right.
It's almost like it is juicy. It's almost like one of you knows what you're doing, or one of the people involved in this knows what's happening and why it's disintegrating, but they're not doing anything about it. Where the other person might know it's disintegrating and they are trying to do something about it, but they're facing opposition. They're facing a severe energy in terms of like how the communication is happening. Like, you know, it's
like one was like, I'm giving up, and the other one's like, he doesn't want to play anymore.
There's a right there's a right way to communicate things, and it's like,
the story of his life. The story of the life.
It's like if you feel like there is a perspective that is not being understood, or that is not being mentored, or is not being instituted, then you have a problem. Why aren't we able to learn from each other? What is the learning curve here?
This is very because Venus is an Aquarius here also, and Venus doesn't necessarily like to be an Aquarius, even though she's a sister to her, because Libra being there, and also she does understand fixed energy with Taurus also ruling her, or her ruling Taurus. But in this situation, it's saying your mind is so fixed on something that there's slander around it. You could be slanderous to yourself even in this situation. Or other people are being slanderous. Like somebody took something that you said the wrong way. And now they don't even want to play the game. That's like, there's something like, what I mean? Or you don't want to play the game anymore. You could have walked away from the situation. And maybe you need to look back. You could resolve it.
Hitting below the belt, definitely. Some of you might be hitting below the belt because you are very reactionary. If that reactional, I don't even know if I'm saying
And it's family related because 5 is there. So it's talking about commitments to something. You're committed to an Aquarius, or your mind is like fixed on this idea of the family, and you want it to go this way, and maybe you should, if you could be less less stubborn about something, there could be more healing around, because you guys need to determine what are the rules to the game. Maybe he plays it this way and you play it that way, and you guys, once you guys understand the rules of the game, you can enjoy the play. You know what I mean? Because there's no referee on this court.
So it's really up to you two to understand how to
juicy.
relate to each other on a bigger level, because it's like when you are in a relationship with someone, or you have a close tie to someone, you have to understand that you are still individuals within that bond. So it's like really allowing yourself to step back and try to understand why the other person might have their perspective or their perceptions or their concepts, and that they definitely can marry with yours. 5, Hierophant energy.
Yeah, I'm getting another message from this too, because the Hierophant is talking about commitments and marriage, and Aquarius is talking about the future. And really having the goals to doing something. So it could be saying that maybe you're feeling like not hopeful about the possibility of a commitment, and maybe you need to get out of your own way with that. Maybe there's something to do with some type of expectation. Maybe if you relinquish expectations of the future, but it is talking about future, because Aquarius is talking about future and logic and connection and the longing for the connection too, and conflicts that are temporary. These conflicts, whatever they are, that are mental, that you're going through, Pisces, are only temporary. Keep that in mind this week. Okay?
All right, you guys, we love you, but we're going to tag the end of this video because Dale's going to be reading at Shanti at 2:30 East 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues.
Friday. No, that's Friday.
What's tomorrow?
Friday. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Sorry, you guys.
I'm there on Friday, and he's there on Sunday. So if you guys want to catch me in person, come to 14th Street. It's in between 2nd and 3rd. And get yourself, I do 15-minute readings, half-hour readings. They're all in 15-minute increments there. Now, if you want to find us outside of that, then you email providencetarot@gmail.com, and we can try to do something with you, like, outside.
You guys, if you are in New York and you want a reading from us, email us at providencetarot@gmail.com. Also, before you leave this, please like it, everybody, before you leave the room. Subscribe. Yeah,
follow us.
We're on Instagram as
well.
Happy
birthday, Dad.
More likes. Hit the like button, please, darlings. We love you.
All right, so this was juicy.
Yeah, this was very juicy. I'll be at Shanti on Sunday from 11:30 to 4:30, perhaps. It just depends on, what the traffic is like during the day. Anything else? Oh, we might hit you guys up with a special soon. We just have to determine what that special and what those terms are going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's kind of like
we do normally have specials.
It was Leo season the last time we did one. And we made a big deal about it. But love this mask. This wig is actually, just a little fun.
Let's close it out with something fun. I have a little mini tarot that I've been giving. If you guys catch me in New York, you can ask me, for a card if you see me around. Some of you were lucky enough to get one of these little tarot cards that I've been carrying around. When you pick one from it, you get to keep it. So let's see what the theme is overall for Halloween. Let's end it all out with a mini tarot card. And
No,
the card is, oh, wow. The card is the world,
honey.
Oh my goodness, that is so cool, so cute. Okay.
Wow.
All right, so that's talking about completions, right? So for some of you are like definitely finishing out something in your life karmically, maybe a situation that had to do with a relationship, real estate, a friendship, anything. And it's also talking about being in your own little bubble of existence and what it is you're supposed to learn in this situation. This is a very powerful card. It is the last card of the major arcana. Wow, the world. All right, on this last day of October, as we transition in, go ahead and complete that karma. Okay? End whatever needs to end and have that rebirth. Okay?
All right, you guys. Yes, and if you would like a love reading from us, that rate is going to be different. You know, you can do those individually too, because I know it's very personal, but we have a love spread that we've been working on and that we will continue working on. And it's pretty thorough. It's good. I like it.
All right. We'll get an opportunity to do the flash sale again. I know you guys like it when we do that 15-minute flash sale for like the 25. I think it is $25. Mm-hmm. So we'll let you know when we decide to do that again. But if you have anything about any questions about our rates or anything, just email us. Okay.
Yep.
Have a happy Halloween and be safe.
Bye.
Bye.